Nacht der Untoten was supposed to be a throwaway bonus mode that developers added because they thought it would be cool, but it accidentally created the biggest gaming obsession. The original had no perks, no pack-a-punch, no wonder weapons, just a bunker, a bolt action rifle, and zombies breaking through windows. It was claustrophobic, brutal, and the perfect introduction to survival horror that nobody saw coming. You didn't win Nacht, you just delayed the inevitable death that was always coming for you. This simple concept of how long can you survive became so addictive that people bought entire Call of Duty games just for the zombies mode. Nacht proved that sometimes the best ideas happen by accident. And this accident changed gaming forever. Der Riese is the map that created the modern zombies formula. And every map since has been trying to recapture its perfect balance of simplicity and depth. This map introduced Teleporter, Pack-a-Punch, and popularized structured dog rounds with red lightning cues, plus the catwalk camping strategy that became legendary. You would hold down the catwalk with your team, upgrade your weapons, and start hunting for hidden radios that revealed a deeper story about Nazi experiments and time travel. Der Riese changed everything by proving zombies could have complex mechanics without losing the core survival experience. The map's layout was simple enough for new players, but deep enough for high-round strategists. Every great zombies map since has been measured against Der Riese's perfect formula, and most have fallen short. Kino der Toten is the most nostalgic zombies map ever created, and hearing that menu music still gives players goosebumps 15 years later. Set in an abandoned theater filled with Nova gas crawlers, teleporters, and the iconic Thunder Gun, Kino became the template for cinematic zombies experiences. You would train zombies on the stage, run endless laps in the lobby, and spam that mystery box like your life depended on it, because it absolutely did. The map's layout was perfect for every playstyle. Camping spots for defensive players, training areas for aggressive players, and enough mystery box locations to keep everyone gambling for better weapons. Kino proved that zombies could be both accessible to newcomers and endlessly replayable for veterans, creating the foundation for Black Ops' legendary zombies reputation. 5 is the most unique zombies map ever created because you literally play as JFK, Nixon, Castro, and Robert McNamara fighting zombies in the Pentagon, and somehow that bizarre concept actually worked. The tight hallways, confusing elevator system, and the Pentagon thief, who steals your guns, created a claustrophobic experience unlike any other zombies map. You're fighting zombies in business suits while historical figures deliver quotable one-liners between zombie kills. The map was brutally difficult with its narrow corridors and limited training space, but the sheer novelty of playing as world leaders during a zombie apocalypse made it unforgettable. 5 proved that zombies could embrace absurdity without losing its horror edge, setting the stage for increasingly creative map concepts. Ascension perfected the wide-open zombies map design with its Soviet launch facility setting, and the monkeys that steal your perks became both beloved and absolutely infuriating. The map featured lunar landers instead of teleporters, Gersh devices that sent zombies into another dimension, and enough training space to accommodate any playstyle. Ascension was smooth, fast-paced, and became a fan favorite because it balanced accessibility with complexity perfectly. The black and white introduction cinematic set the tone for epic storytelling that zombies would embrace going forward, but those monkey rounds, watching helpless as space monkeys stole your carefully purchased perks, created a love-hate relationship that defined the Ascension experience. The map proved that zombies could be frustrating and addictive at the same time. Call of the Dead threw George Romero into a frozen wasteland with Danny Trejo and Sarah Michelle Gellar, creating the most star-studded zombies experience that somehow wasn't just a publicity stunt. The map introduced boss zombies with George Romero chasing players around while they dealt with regular zombie hordes. You had ziplines, flingers, and the VR-11 wonder weapon that turned zombies back into humans, which was either brilliant or useless, depending on your strategy. Call of the Dead was weird, creative, and enormous, proving that zombies could embrace Hollywood excess without losing its core gameplay. The celebrity cast brought mainstream attention to zombies mode, but the map's solid design kept players coming back long after the novelty wore off. Moon took players from Area 51 to outer space and delivered the most ambitious zombies experience ever attempted, with zero gravity, excavators that could suck air out of rooms, and a wave gun that made zombies explode from the inside. The map served as the finale of the original Ether storyline, bringing together years of mysterious radio transmissions and Easter egg hints into one cosmic showdown. You started on Earth, teleported to the moon, and fought zombies in spacesuits while managing oxygen levels and gravity mechanics. Moon's complexity was overwhelming for casual players, but rewarding for dedicated fans who had followed the story from the beginning. The map proved that zombies could tell epic science fiction stories while maintaining intense survival gameplay, setting impossibly high expectations for future finale maps. Transit was the most ambitious zombies map ever conceived, and possibly the biggest disappointment in franchise history, proving that bigger isn't always better. The map connected multiple zones with a bus that transported players across a massive world, but the execution was nightmarish. Lava covered half the map, denizens jumped on your face in the fog, and while Juggernog was always located in the town area, navigating there through the deadly fog and lava felt like an impossible journey when you were bleeding out. The concept was brilliant, an open-world zombies experience, but the technology wasn't ready for such ambition. Transit became a cautionary tale about overreaching, showing that innovative ideas need solid execution to succeed. Despite its flaws, Transit's influence can be seen in every large-scale zombies map that followed, proving that even failures can inspire future successes. Mob of the Dead is widely considered the greatest zombies map ever created, and it achieved that status by combining Alcatraz's haunting atmosphere with innovative afterlife mechanics and the best cast of characters zombies had ever seen. 4 mobsters trapped in purgatory, Hell's Retriever Flaming Boomerang, and the ability to become a ghost and interact with the environment in afterlife mode, everything about this map was perfect. The storytelling was cinematic, the atmosphere was terrifying, and the gameplay mechanics were revolutionary without being overwhelming. Mob of the Dead proved that zombies could be art, not just entertainment, elevating the mode from fun distraction to legitimate gaming masterpiece. Every zombies map since has been measured against Mob's perfect blend of story, atmosphere, and gameplay innovation. Origins transformed zombies from simple survival mode into an epic mythology with giant robots, elemental staves, and World War I trenches that established the foundation for years of complex storytelling. You played as younger versions of the original characters, Richthofen, Dempsey, Nikolai, and Takeo, in their first encounter with Element 115 and zombie experiments. The map was massive, cinematic, and packed with buildable wonder weapons that required teamwork and strategy to obtain. Origins proved that zombies could handle complex narratives and intricate Easter eggs without losing its core appeal. The map's success established the template for story-driven zombies experiences and launched the premise storyline that would dominate the next era of zombies content. Shadows of Evil was the most complex launch map in zombies history, featuring 1940s noir atmosphere, tentacle monsters, Cthulhu cults, and a learning curve so steep that half the player base quit before mastering it. You transformed into beasts, used grappling hooks, solved rituals, and navigated the most visually stunning zombies environment ever created. The map looked incredible and sounded insane, but its complexity alienated casual players who just wanted to shoot zombies and have fun. Shadows of Evil represented Black Ops 3's commitment to deep, story-driven experiences, but it also showed the danger of making entry barriers too high. The map divided the community between players who loved its depth and those who missed zombies' simpler routes. Der Eisendrache is peak zombies design because it found the perfect balance between complexity and accessibility. Set in an Austrian castle where you built elemental bows, used gravity pads to navigate vertical spaces, and fought keeper bosses. Everyone agrees that Der Eisendrache represents zombies at its absolute best, challenging enough for experienced players, but approachable for newcomers. The bow upgrade quests were satisfying without being tedious. The map layout encouraged both camping and training strategies, and the atmosphere was both beautiful and menacing. Der Eisendrache proved that zombies could evolve beyond its roots while maintaining the core experience that made it special. The map became the gold standard for modern zombies design, showing that innovation and tradition could coexist perfectly. Gorod Krovi dropped players into Stalingrad with dragons flying overhead, mechs to pilot, and the GKZ-45 Mark III dual-wield death machine that made players feel like action movie heroes. The map combined historical warfare with supernatural elements, creating set pieces that felt like summer blockbuster movies. You could fly a giant mech suit, shoot flaming dragons out of the sky, and use wonder weapons that looked like they belonged in science fiction films. Gorod Krovi was high effort and high reward, demanding skill and teamwork, but delivering spectacular moments that made players feel legendary. The map showed that zombies could embrace pure spectacle without losing its challenging gameplay, though the brutal Easter egg difficulty proved that some experiences were meant only for the most dedicated players. Die Maschine took the tiny bunker from Nacht der Untoten and transformed it into a massive underground facility with dark ether portals, upgradable wonder weapons, and modern mechanics that honored the past while embracing the future. The map served as Cold War's reboot of zombies, proving that the mode could feel both familiar and fresh after years of increasingly complex experiences. You started in the classic Nacht bunker, but could explore an entire underground research facility, creating a perfect blend of nostalgia and innovation. Die Maschine nailed the reboot formula by keeping the core survival experience while adding quality-of-life improvements that made zombies more accessible without dumbing it down. The map's success showed that sometimes going back to basics is the best way forward. Forsaken brought zombies to an American shopping mall and created one of the most satisfying finale experiences in franchise history, with round-based survival, giant portals, and 2 wonder weapons that felt perfectly balanced. The map wrapped up the Dark Ether storyline neatly while delivering the classic zombies experience that fans had been craving. You fought through a zombie-infested mall with modern weapons and classic mechanics, proving that zombies worked best when it focused on survival rather than overly complex objectives. Forsaken showed that Cold War's approach to zombies, accessible but not simple, innovative but not overwhelming, was the right direction for the franchise's future. Der Anfang abandoned everything that made zombies special by removing round-based survival, mystery box tension, and exploration in favor of objective-based gameplay that felt like a generic co-op shooter. People hated it, immediately and completely, marking the lowest point in zombies' history. The map eliminated the core zombie experience of survive as long as possible, and replaced it with mundane objectives that had no connection to what made zombies addictive. Der Anfang proved that fixing something that isn't broken usually just breaks it completely, and the massive backlash forced the developers to eventually return to traditional round-based gameplay. Liberty Falls brought zombies back to small-town America, with West Virginia charm, perfect map layout for newcomers, and the LR-11 sniper wonder weapon that absolutely slaps zombies across the map. The map served as Black Ops 6's accessible introduction while maintaining enough depth for experienced players. Liberty Falls proved that zombies had learned from Vanguard's mistakes and returned to the formula that actually worked: round-based survival with clear progression and satisfying weapons. The map's success showed that Black Ops 6 understood what players wanted: zombies that felt like zombies, not some experimental game mode that happened to have undead enemies. Citadel des Morts dropped players into a French castle with sword-based wonder weapons and gameplay that felt like Game of Thrones meets Der Eisendrache, proving that Black Ops 6 Zombies was firing on all cylinders. Based on early gameplay reveals, the map combines medieval atmosphere with modern zombies mechanics, creating an experience that honors classic design principles while feeling completely fresh. Sword wonder weapons appear to bring melee combat back to zombies in a meaningful way, and the castle setting provides both stunning visuals and what looks like solid gameplay flow. If the previews are accurate, Citadel des Morts could represent the current evolution of zombies design, showing that the mode has successfully moved beyond its experimental phase into confident, polished experiences.